What's up, y'all? I said, what's up, y'all? Look at me when I'm talking to you, bro. Nah, I'm just messing with y'all, man. This is your boy Knockout Boxing 86 TV, and we in here. So check this out, y'all. Before we get going on our video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, share the video, turn on your notification, and go follow me on Twitter at KOBoxing86TV. Also, if you have a breakdown or a prediction video you'd like me to do for you, knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com is the email address. And don't forget about our live shows. We are changing up the schedule on our live shows. Live shows still every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, but we're also going to start doing our prediction and breakdown show Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, because Friday nights, we're running into a lot of Friday nights where there's actual boxing matches anyway. So just to alleviate all of that and make sure we're able to cover the Friday fights, we will now start going live Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, and then Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time with the singing OG KQKC Boxing Network. But let's get to the video, man. So Floyd Mayweather all but confirms that Gervonta Tank Davis' contract is coming up, and it's not looking good for Mayweather Promotions to re-sign the star boxer to their stable, their biggest star, their huge money maker. And Floyd Mayweather is not taking it the way that you would probably anticipate him taking it. Let's talk about it in this video. So here's what was said. For those of y'all that don't know, Tank Davis was complaining about when his tickets were going on sale, only going on sale a month before his fight. And then he also said the only reason they haven't fighting this clown, referring to Rolly Romero, was because his contract is about to be up. And this is what Mayweather had to say during his interview. He says, he first talked about the matchup between Rolly and Tank Davis. He says it's two heavy hitters. Of course, Tank has more experience at this level at this particular time, but Rolly, he talks a good game. He also fights a good game because he's undefeated, which he shouldn't be. He lost to Marinez for real. But he says it's a very exciting matchup. Two heavy hitters. Everybody is anticipating this fight. Not true, bro. Not true, but he's a promoter. He got to sell the fight. Then this is what they asked him specifically about when Tank said that his contract was up and what it means for his future with Tank Davis. And this is what Floyd says. He says, "Nothing lasts forever. I will always love Tank. I like him, love him, look at him as a son. He has to do what is best for him. I feel like I've done a great job thus far. I mean, just building him and putting him in good fights, great fights, and he's steady growing, steady learning, and I'm proud of him." Listen, bro, I be on Floyd Mayweather helmet heavy in terms of how he promotes Tank, how he's protecting Tank, how he's holding Tank back from greatness and building himself or building Tank into the type of fighter that we like in boxing. You know, one that chases legacy, that fights the best competition, takes out the best competition, or if he does lose, loses valiantly. Just somebody that's going after greatness. Mayweather has not promoted Tank in that way, and as a result, I haven't liked how he has moved with Tank. Okay, I haven't liked the fights that we've seen with Tank the last couple of years. Like Leo Santa Cruz, that was a good fight. That's a champion. You were fighting for a championship. You made some concessions to make that fight happen. Leo Santa Cruz is a multiple division champion who had beaten everyone he had ever been in the ring with before fighting Tank Davis. Yes, he had one loss on his record, but he came back and beat that same person in a rematch. So Leo Santa Cruz is a potential Hall of Fame fighter. When you look at his resume, you look at what he's been able to accomplish, how long he's been champion, his title defenses, the divisions that he was champion in. Not a lot of guys with similar resumes that aren't in the Hall of Fame, so I think that's a good win. But then when you start talking about Gamboa, you start talking about this dude Nunez that he fought, you talk about Mario Barrios, Isak Pitbull Cruz. Tank Davis hasn't been in the fights that we want to see him in, and so as a result, I've been very critical of how Floyd Mayweather has promoted him. Now, with that being said, I got to give Floyd Mayweather props. I got to give him credit because he was so professional in his response to this question and how he wished Tank nothing but the best, win, lose, or draw. And I think it all but confirms that Tank is leaving simply based off of the strength that Floyd said nothing lasts forever. You know, he got to do what's best for him. That doesn't sound like a CEO of a company that feels like they're about to re-sign their biggest asset. Those sound like the words of someone who's resigned to the fact that Tank will be leaving after this fight. And for him to speak that way about Tank, wishing him the best, saying that, you know, he still love him like a son and all of that stuff, is it true or not? I don't know. Behind the scenes, is he Is his blood pressure high? Is he hot? Do he want to come out of retirement and see what he can do with Tank Davis? Like, I don't know. I don't know if he really truly means that, but I'm going to take him at his word. It says he does. And I got much more respect for what Floyd is saying about somebody that's leaving than I do what we heard about Bob Arum say when he was talking about Terrence Crawford, when Terrence Crawford's contract was coming up. You know what I'm saying? For all the shit that we give Floyd about how he moved Tank, like at least at the very end, he's man enough and he's humble enough and he's real enough to say, look, man, I wish him the best. Nothing lasts forever. When you have somebody like Bob Arum who basically devalued and manipulated and really hurt Terrence Crawford on his way out the door, talking about how he didn't sell, not getting them fights, talking about how Terrence Crawford is tough to deal with. I could build a mansion in Beverly Hills with the money that I lost on Terrence Crawford. Basically telling every promoter that could potentially be interested in signing Terrence Crawford that he's a headache, he's hard to do business with. Oh, and you gonna lose money on him. That's what Bob Arum did to Terrence Crawford on his way out the door, which is night and day from what we see from Floyd Mayweather. So we gotta give Floyd Mayweather credit in that regard, because a lot of these promoters, these powerful promoters, they get salty. They try to kick you on your way out the door instead of opening the door for you and realizing that maybe y'all paths have just met their end. You know what I'm saying? And so I got much more respect for what I heard from Floyd Mayweather in that interview. And then also, we've seen Oscar De La Hoya shitting on multiple fighters that left Golden Boy for the PBC. You know, look at the shit that he said about the Charlos, you know, leaving Golden Boy. Look at what he says about Canelo Alvarez and how negative he talks about him. When Canelo was making him hundreds of millions of dollars, it was cool. It was, you know, it was cool as the other side of the pillow. He wasn't tripping. And he cheated Canelo out of some money. He was lying and cheating and stealing from Canelo and not letting him know what was up. Otherwise, the courts wouldn't have ruled in Canelo's favor, because he was technically still under contract when he left Golden Boy, but he was able to sue and get out because Golden Boy had breached their contract with him. So Oscar De La Hoya is talking shit about Canelo. He's going in on Canelo Alvarez when, if you would have kept your word, if you would have stayed loyal, if you would have let him know what was going on and not try to be a snake towards Canelo Alvarez, you probably still had the biggest star in boxing signed to you, bro. Straight up and down. And so we see guys like De La Hoya from Golden Boy Promotions. We see guys like, you know, Bob Arum from Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? Just talk bad about fighters and ain't messing with them no more. Whereas, again, more credit to Floyd Mayweather. Even Eddie Hearn, who it just came out that Demetrius Andrade, and we talked about this on our live stream, Demetrius Andrade's last fight at Matchroom. Last fight under Matchroom in the Zone is going to be with Zach Parker. Eddie Hearn said nothing but positive things about Demetrius Andrade. So I prefer people who show some class when they're parting ways. I prefer people who understand I made money off of this fighter. Just because I'm not going to be working with this fighter anymore, number one, doesn't mean I have to shit on him and devalue them. But number two, Tank Davis is good enough to where Floyd Mayweather may have to do business with him in the future. Floyd Mayweather has 140-pound fighters. Who knows what Richardson Hitchens can be? Maybe Richardson Hitchens will be a world champion one day. Maybe Richardson Hitchens could potentially be a big fight one day, and you don't want to burn that bridge talking shit about Tank on his way out the door. Maybe Tank just stayed because Al Heyman is his manager and advisor. Maybe he signs directly to the PBC and cuts out Mayweather Promotions. Maybe he goes to Top Rank because Top Rank has a lot of smoke for him at 135 to 140. Maybe he decides to go on his own, go the Canelo route, try to look, you know, for 2-fight deals here, 3-fight deals there, trying to get the fights that he wants. Maybe he does any of that, but whatever he decides to do, by Floyd handling it this way, by Eddie Hearn handling it the way that he's handling it with Demetrius Andrade, those people could potentially be more amicable and more willing to come back and do business with you in the future. But when you handle shit how Bob Arum handled with Terrence Crawford, I hold firm. I believe Terrence Crawford is a proud guy. That's why I never really even got into the whole Terrence Crawford versus Josh Taylor thing, because I don't think Terrence Crawford would want to go do business with somebody who he says promised him a bunch of shit and didn't deliver, who is suing for racial bias. Now you're going to go back to him and you're going to do business with him and do a possible fight with Josh Taylor, I just don't see that happening. I don't see Terrence Crawford being involved with Top Rank for the rest of his career, to be completely honest with y'all. The same way I don't see Mikey Garcia ever going back and doing business with Top Rank. So, you know, great move from Floyd Mayweather. You can win even when you lose. You can lose even when you win. And by that, maybe he might be losing Tank Davis. Maybe Tank Davis feels like he has outgrown him. He feels like Floyd hasn't gotten him the fights. And while being appreciative of Floyd, maybe he feels like it's time for him to go off on his own. And in doing so, I should say, having Floyd talk like this, it just leaves the door open for those guys to possibly do business in the future. But what if Floyd, you know, you got Jaleel Hackett, who signed to Mayweather Promotions. That's a real good prospect. Maybe he's built up into a hot star one day, and Tank Davis is a veteran and a big star, and maybe their paths might cross since they fight at similar weight classes. So it's so much to like about the comments, and y'all know how we do on the channel, bro. Like if I'm gonna go in on you when you deserve to be going in on, I'm gonna do that shit. But when you say something or you behave in a way or you do something that deserves credit, I'm going to give you that credit too, because I believe that that's what we should all do as boxing fans and content creators. So salute to Floyd Mayweather. Love this comment. Like how he's viewing the situation. But I think it is a nugget that I think Tank is gone. Can't wait to see what the young man does next. My vote, he's big enough to where he can go get fights on a 2-fight basis, 3-fight basis, and not have to tie himself down to a particular network. You know, we just saw what Devin Haney did. That's a whole nother situation. I can't wait till Wednesday night to talk about that shit, man. We're going to really, really unpack that entire situation. So y'all be sure to come through Wednesday night for the live stream. Be sure to come through Thursday night for the prediction show. Both shows are at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And don't forget to check out Sunday mornings with me and the singing OG, KQKC Boxing Network. Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I appreciate everybody watching the video. Y'all be sure to enjoy the rest of your day. And with that, we out of here, y'all. Peace out.